So for me, as of today, the best RPG of all time in 2025, let's say in fantasy genre, because in sci-fi genre it is surely Mass Effect trilogy. But let's focus today on fantasy RPG games. And the best RPG for me is BioWare first Dragon Age Origins. Dragon Age was published in 2009, and later it added BioWare added to the game a lot of DLCs. And to this day, I think Dragon Age Origins is the best RPG fantasy game I have ever played, because BioWare, of course, we know that it is even even today with Medicore games like Anthem, Mass Effect Andromeda, and Dragon Age Veilguard. It is still, I think, the best RPG studio of all times. Maybe Larian will be the next king with Baldur's Gate 3 and next games in the process of production. But still, BioWare has created epic titles like Neverwinter Nights, like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, Neverwinter Nights 1, Jade Empire, Knights of the Old Republic, Mass Effect trilogy, MDK2. This is not an RPG game, but I think Dragon Age Origins is a successor to the Baldur's Gate, and Baldur's Gate 1 was a revolutionary RPG game, because until Baldur's Gate, all RPG games, of course, we have Fallout was published, I think, a year earlier, first Fallout, but still, all RPG games were dungeon RPG games, or almost all of them. And BioWare created this isometric look at Baldur's Gate, and of course with the most famous role-playing system, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. We can, for example, know this system from Stranger Things, when kids are playing their games and they, for example, struggle with Vecna. They are playing Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Um, and Baldur's Gate 1, and then epic Baldur's Gate 2, and final expansion, they were really truly completely new revolutionary games in this genre, because later we have, of course, Neverwinter Nights 1. We also had even earlier Icewind Dale 1 and 2, Planescape Torment, Temple of Elemental Evil, and so on. But Dragon Age Origins is their own unique world. So the BioWare didn't license Dragon Age Origins world. They invented it from the scratch, from the beginning. And I think it presents even better than Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, because it's darker, but also more serious, more grown up world. When we play Dragon Age Origins, it's almost like we are playing in normal our world, because of course in Dragon Age Origins you also have, for example, wizards, sorcerers, mages, but they are almost like vampires. They are almost like people with a stigma. People with a stigma. They are people think that they are, and they are in reality connected to the fate, to the realm when where demons rule, and they can be possessed easily by demons also. Even in Dragon Age Origins world, uh, many things are in superstition, and many things are almost like some satanic, demonic, evil forces, because the religion of the biggest religion of Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age world is, of course, believing in Andrastre, in Prophet Andrastre, and this religion is something like Christianity with adding up that the Andastre was not a god like Jesus, but it was rather like Prophet Muhammad. She was a prophetess. She was a prophetess, but she was also consumed and sacrificed on the altars of evil people, of evil Tevinter Empire, and to this day this oh my god, polytheistic and this monotheistic religion is uh, is the biggest and the strongest religion of all cults and religions in Dragon Age world. And of course, mages are on the opposite side. So mages are like they are almost like some evil figures believing in Satan. So Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age generally world is rather dark. Maybe not dark as Fallout world or Planescape world, but it is still very dark, and it is extremely serious. When I'm playing Dragon Age Origins, and then after we have a very beautiful, very well made DLCs with standalone adventures. And some of them are connected to the main story, and of course we have a very big even humongous DLC, Dragon Age Awakening. I didn't play it even now, so I'm planning to do this expansion with three different classes, and classes in Dragon Age Origins, even though they are few of them, because or very little. You have only three classes: a mage, a warrior, and a thief. But all of them are completely different from each other. Their style of playing, artifacts, abilities they use, completely different. Even armors and look of our character, completely different. Uh, and I would say that the one disadvantage of playing in Dragon Age Origins is that mages are almost like soldiers with spells being like bullets. So in Baldur's Gate world, for example, a mage has a, a period of time of casting a spell, and also he can only cast a couple of spells per day. So he couldn't, for example, there was no cooldown. And here in Dragon Age Origins, there is a cooldown, and almost all spells are cast almost immediately, instantly. So this is a little bit boring. In Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, playing as a wizard was more complicated, more advanced, and more fun, and more on the higher levels. It showed that the mage is a is a true king class of advanced Dungeons and Dragons, because on the lower levels, for example, until 8 9 level of being a wizard, it was really difficult to survive as a wizard alone. You needed a team, but after that you had abilities and spells that you were almost like a demigod. And here there is a more balance between all classes, but there is more balance between classes, but mage is a little bit like a soldier with rifle. So the spells are almost like bullets and like guns. So it is a little bit boring and a little bit silly, but still the plot and the focus because mage is not just another class, another profession of a race, or of a human, or of an elf, because dwarves can't cast spells in this world. But the focus that magic is corrupted and it is evil, because we are not sure if religion of Andastre is true. we are almost sure that someone like Andastre lived in the past, but we are not sure if all which tells us that, which is told by the chantry, and the chantry is like a formal organization of Andastre religion, is true. We know that there is blight, that the blight is appearing a couple hundreds years between one and another blight, but we are not sure why this blight is appearing, where this blight is from, and why Darkspawn want to evaporate and kill all humans and all races of Tchedas. And the religion of Andastre is telling us the story that the maker cast the mages of Tevinter Empire into abyss, and they have returned because they disobeyed his orders not to enter the Golden City, and they did enter this Golden City. So he cast them as these abominations upon us, our world. But this is, of course, the story of the religion of Tchedas, of the religion of the Chantry. But we are not sure if it's true. But the world of Dragon Age is almost like the world of Game of Thrones. You have sometimes you have magic, sometimes you have zombies, sometimes you have undead, sometimes you have dragons, but still it's a serious grounded world, even very serious. So, for example, you have this ability of tranquility when mages are stripped of all emotions, but because of that, demons cannot possess them. So it's a very tragic transformation, very cruel. But even mages are aware that it is crucial for them to survive, because this possession is real. The demons lurking in the fate are real. They are a real threat to our world. So, nevertheless, mages are opposing such strict behavior released upon them. They still agree that it needs they need to control themselves, because they are controlled by the Chantry and by the Templars of the Chantry, but they even can should control themselves. And the lore and the legends of Dragon Age Origins are really epic, because they are mysterious. Not everything is known. We are not sure if they are legends, or some of these stories are true and some of them are legends and some of them are completely myths. We are not sure what exactly is the true in this world, but Dragon Age Origins, even though Dragon Age Inquisition was the best title, if you compare selling results, it sold a couple of millions of copies, I think 7 or 8 or even higher, and Dragon Age Origins was like 3 millions. So Dragon Age Origins was worse comparing to the economical results, to the financial results, but still the graphic, even it was more advanced Baldur's Gate 2. So the graphic is really beautiful, especially if you are looking from this isometric perspective, because on the consoles you have this very camera was very close to the characters, and in PC version you have this camera which can be zoomed in and zoomed out, and the best look is, of course, from this isometric view, when our characters are very small, but you, for example, you see almost every move and even every attack of our character, how they cast spells in this beautiful way, how they manage to throw different thrusts and combinations of attack on their enemies, the final blows to some epic monsters. It really looked beautiful. It really looked like designers and art director decided to create a very beautiful, even to this day, very beautiful game. I would say it's the beautifulest RPG game I have ever seen. Uh, Maybe faces are not as good designed as in Mass Effect trilogy, but still I think that characters Their look is very epic, very unusual, uh, very good to our eyes, to our aesthetics, but also unique in the style. Every knight is every armor, every knight, every guardian looks proper and different. And with the add-on of these DLCs, the game is really, really very long, because you can in standalone Dragon Age Origins you can level up until maximum it's 25, but in reality it's like 2021. And in Dragon Age Origins biggest expansion, Awakening, the maximum level is 35. And 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 even the graphics of spells, of abilities, of skills, very beautiful. Icons of our unique and magical items, graphics of them, looking at them from the perspective of gameplay. I would say it's still the best. I didn't play in so far. I didn't play in Baldur's Gate 3 and in Dragon Age Inquisition, but I still think that Dragon Age Origins is still the best from this point of view of graphics, of elements, of icons. It's really. Let me put this in this way. Let me put this in this way. Leveling up in Dragon Age Origins is really satisfactory, because you have only about 34, 35 skills to use, so you need to be careful what abilities you want to use. But each of these abilities have unique look, unique graphic, like unique icon, but also unique animation. Almost every spell has unique, very beautiful, very thorough animation. For example, when I played in Baldur's Gate 1, I was amazed, because Baldur's Gate 1 is still a king of complicated spells. You have like let's say we are comparing Baldur's Gate 1 and Baldur's Gate 2 and expansion. You have like 9 levels of spell tiers, and each tier level, even first, has like 30 different spells. In Dragon Age Origins, spells are more, they are simpler. They are mainly defensive and offensive, not so about utility and support, but still the graphics of the spell is really beautiful. So, for example, the most famous Fireball. The Fireball has a beautiful graphic animation, extremely well designed sound when it shots, and when it shots and damage ground. And also you have this like very low sound of an explosion. So it's not only a fire, but it is only the noise of the scream or the sound of something being uh, shot, something being fired, something being destroyed. So it's really unique if you have a very good. You have a very good subwoofer with ability to sound low level lower sounds like 18-20 hertz. You will be amazed how beautiful the music, but also the special effects of the Dragon Age Origins are, especially the spells. For example, if you are putting a blizzard a blizzard or a tempest, these gigantic spells of total destruction, sound of them, the sound of thunders, of fireballs, of different skills, they are really, really unique. and also the music of Dragon Age Origins is the best of all Dragon Age Origins games, and I would say still that it's even better than Baldur's Gate, and maybe even the best of all RPG games I have ever played. So Dragon Age Origins is because it's a really long game. It's really long game. It's difficult game. I didn't play it on normal. I'm playing it only on easy. On normal, it's really difficult. You need to focus. You need to be prepared. Maybe not as difficult as, let's say, as Baldur's Gate on normal, uh, or as StarCraft real-time strategy, first StarCraft, but it is still difficult. It's still difficult. On normal, it's difficult. You need to focus. You need to taunt your enemies. It's difficult, but even on easy, the game is like normal to today's game. It's like normal. It's not the easiest, but it is fairly easy. Uh, and and in Dragon Age Origins, they also focused on something which they abandoned in later games. For example, in Dragon Age 2, you have all swords, even the unique ones, even the super unique ones, have the same icon in the menu. The same icon. And it is complete. I don't know who decided this, because even in Baldur's Gate, you saw that unidentified items or magical items, they have a special look even in the inventory, not in the game, in the gameplay, but in the inventory. They have their own unique history. And here, in for example, in Dragon Age Origins 2, you have a lot of DLCs with superior weapons who are even leveling up with your characters, but they don't have their unique story, and I think they look different in the gameplay, but they don't look as cool, as beautiful, because in many they all look the same, and so the uniqueness is completely destroyed. And in Dragon Age Origins, you have unique items, and each of them is beautifully crafted, and even in inventory. For example, in Dragon Age Origins, every character has unique slots for almost all items. And in Dragon Age 2, your companions were stripped of most of equipable items. I don't know why. Because, for example, in Baldur's Gate 1, you have because in Dragon Age Origins you can have three companions and you, so the team is four, and in Baldur's Gate 1, 2 and expansions you can have six members and equip all six of them with bracelets, rings, amulets, boots, belts, armors, weapons, necklaces. It was really a challenge, and the best part was uh, that unique items, they were really unique, so they were rare. For example, some normal magical items were at some points plenty, but better ones, they were really unique, they were really rare, but you could, playing thoroughly, equipped almost all your companions with items. Even in Baldur's Gate 1, in Dragon Age Origins, it's a little bit easier. But in Dragon Age Origins, you have like because when I say super uniques, you don't have official tiers in Dragon Age Origins. So in Dragon Age Origins, you just have magical items, and you know that they are magical because normal abilities are very well, because the cursive was very not cursive. Uh, I think it's cursive in English. It was beautifully crafted in Dragon Age Origins, and you knew that item is magical because the cursive was not white, but it was green. and you only know that the item is more powerful than other magical items if you have more green statistics, and super uniques were very rare, were very expensive, and it was almost impossible to get them all. So you need to play very thoroughly, even to use some, let's say, tricks to collect them all. But when you have them and you have the best items, you saw that that even you cannot destroy everything as you wish. Your skills and your abilities are better, and every item has unique graphic, unique icon, and unique look in the gameplay. And for example, Dragon Age 2 was completely stripped of this. So for example, some items did look differently in the gameplay, but in the menu they look all the same. I didn't know why this move was conducted and proceeded, and implemented. But for every RPG player, the more satisfaction you have if your items are rarer, uniquer, and they have unique icon, unique statistics, which are also beautifully crafted. For example, this beautiful cursive in Dragon Age Origins, but they also have unique look in the menu and also in the gameplay. And they are quite rare, because in Dragon Age Origins, for example, 2, they added so many items in the DLCs, like not DLC with a story, but rather DLC like you have a chest of items. So they were so boring, because some of them even level up with your character, and this was, I think, a quite good idea, that some powerful items can even level up with your character, but their uniqueness is destroyed because they are the best, because they are level with your character. I'm not sure if Inquisition put this Dragon Age Origins way or choose this Dragon Age 2 way, but for example, the best, I would say that Dragon Age Origins is on tier with Borderlands series. In Borderlands series, especially in 1 and 3, I saw that every item is uniquely crafted. And for example, I know that players were complaining that in first Borderlands, unique items or orange items are very rare, very difficult to get, and for example in Borderlands 3 they are too often spawning. You get so many of them that they are not really as unique as they should be, but still the middle ground is that they looked differently. Their statistics are unique, beautiful, crafted. You know what statistics do. Maybe in third Borderlands it was difficult to some statistics to understand, but still, this comparison that you have white weapons, so the simpler ones, you have green weapons a little bit better, rare weapons, let's say blue weapons, which are a little bit rarer than green ones. Then you have epic weapons like purple, and then you have uniques like orange weapons, and then after some DLCs, the best weapons but the rarest and the uniqueness were like pearls and items. I'm telling right now about first Borderlands, and I think that in Dragon Age games, then in second Dragon Age it was destroyed. This itemization and customization of items was destroyed. I'm not sure about Dragon Age Inquisition. I thought I saw that in Veilguard it was very poorly made. It was very poorly made, and it is a very serious disadvantage, especially from the point of RPG game. In RPG games, you need to have a very good crafting system of getting magical items, of unique items. They cannot be too often spawning, but they cannot be very rare, and their uniqueness should be shown in the gameplay, but also in the menu, and also even in the description, Because, for example, I was shocked positively in Baldur's Gate 1 that every magical items, uh, yeah, every magical item, even the simpler ones, even the white ones, but more so green ones, because not green ones, just magical ones in Baldur's Gate. They have their own unique stories. So you saw that you have unique item because it was like that. In Baldur's Gate, you have magical items who can just be simple +1 to some skill and to some damage, and they were just simple magical items. But you have unique items with their unique story, and you saw that. And the best part was that this item could be. I'm not sure if every, but I'm almost sure that every of them was unique. Was only one item in the game. They have unique story, unique icon, and even unique look. Because in Baldur's Gate 1, the look was only about weapons and armors, and it was still in the not very, from our point of view, not very developed graphically. But even in Neverwinter Nights, for example, every item looked very curious, very mystical, and the itemization was really interesting. For example, I never understood properly the crafting system and so on, but with the DLCs, the items were really epic and unique, and they were difficult to get. And in Dragon Age Origins, you have the same problem, but from positive way. So the best items or are super expensive, or they are super difficult to get. But it makes them even more precious to you to get them and to acquire them. Uh, so I would say that still the Dragon Age Origins, even though I didn't play Skyrim, I didn't play Baldur's Gate 3, I would say that because of the story, because of the unique world, and because original Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 was created not by Larian Studios but by BioWare. It's still BioWare is the king of RPG games, and I think that Dragon Age Origins is still the best RPG fantasy game ever created. Because you know, for example, one thing uh, which is making me not to buy Baldur's Gate 3, even though with such beautiful stories and such good reviews, is that I have learned that the maximum level is 12, and for me, no argument is reliable, because I think that the Larian Studios didn't go after 12 because the spells and the abilities are too epic to show, and I think it's for me it's a very very poor excuse. If you are making an epic game, you should have epic abilities at the end. We have seen this in Baldur's Gate 2 and Baldur's Gate 2 expansion. That in Baldur's Gate 1, the maximum level of most classes were like 9. So you were strong, but you were not as strong as you expected to be. And in Baldur's Gate 2, you saw that the difference between level 9 and the maximum level of I think Baldur's Gate 2 the expansion was 50. So druids, priests, and mages have abilities to cast 9 tier spells, and of course so on about armor, skills, abilities, and so on. So I think that because when you have played Baldur's Gate 2, you saw that this is a really epic story, that every chapter is more difficult, dragons are extremely difficult, but the items, the levels, they it was really satisfactory to level up. So, for example, they put this silly quest about pantalons, and you acquire them in the first Baldur's Gate, in second Baldur's Gate, and in third, and the expansion to Baldur's Gate 2, and you created this unique look of a golem with unique, very superior armor. It was really pleasing to see that your character developed from the Baldur's Gate 1, because you could implement your character from Baldur's Gate 1 without equipment, but with better abilities, because you can acquire a tome of statistics and skills. So you saw that because Baldur's Gate 1 now have even two expansions, and you saw that Baldur's Gate 1 and the second expansion is showing us what will happen in Baldur's Gate 2, and why we ended in Irenicus dungeon. But you see that this Baldur's Gate is almost like a saga. It's almost like a saga with epic Baldur's Gate 2. Baldur's Gate 2 was very, very long, with expansion, lots of abilities, lots of spells, lots of armors, lots of everything. And in Dragon Age Origins, even though the maximum level of awakening is like 35, you see this epicness. And when I have learned that in Baldur's Gate 3 you can level up until 12, so there is no epicness, and even the characters, because I was really thrilled and glad that, for example, you can join with Minsk and Jaheira, and even you can meet, for example, Elminster, but even Viconia, and characters from earlier Baldur's Gate games. But this 12th level is completely fucked up everything for me. Because right now we know that Larians didn't plan, and I think don't plan to make DLCs. For me, it's a complete it's a mistake. It's a mistake because when you created such a good game, and the Baldur's Gate 3 is, I think it sold more. I'm sure it sold more copies than all Baldur's Gate, even fourth title. So because all titles of Dragon Age sold less copies than Baldur's Gate 3, but you need an DLCs to show that this world you're creating is original and is epic. That it is not only a game, but it is also a story about something, and this story element is very, very important. Okay, guys, let me know in the comments what do you think about Dragon Age Origins. Are there better fantasy games than Dragon Age Origins? And can you please write your arguments why you think other games can be better than Dragon Age Origins?